Hello everybody. My name is Dragos Pojala, and I want to share some of my experience with breaking the contracts, forgiveness, and what I personally consider the basis of the personal power. It is no, it is not something that I just woke up this morning and I come up with the idea. But basically, what I want to do, I just want to record my experience, and I want to maybe be of use to some of you that might find my ideas worthy of be put in practice. For a long time, I struggled with the idea of with the idea of power and getting what you want in life. You know, everybody says you got to do this, you got to do that, and after so many years of listening to other people, it comes down to the fact that if nothing changed in the way you want it, if nothing made a difference, the things you heard, the things you done, the things you you tried, and maybe some small changes happen and all that, but you come down to realize that the real biggest change is inside of yourself. And this change, this who you are, you'll take it with you when you die. And the biggest win of everything you do in life is what you take with you. It's not what you do stays on the planet. It's what you take with you, the experience, the knowledge, and maybe the people you help. So I come down to this need of finding the power to make change, to have some results in my life, and finding the right way, at least for me, and not necessarily somebody else's way to do something. So that's I cannot present this as the only way, as the best way. I only can present this only just my way. I have a disclaimer here in the beginning for the people that do not know or do not understand or do not care that we are more than the physical body, that do not care that we or do not know. I mean, it can be used to you anyway. But what I'm saying here, it's basically way besides the normal way or the accepted way or the way normal people think, if there's such a thing as normal. So I'm going to make a disclaimer that if you don't know what the soul is, if you don't understand the principle of being a spirit and having a human experience, this may not be for you. But you have to make that decision. If you want to be fair about it, you should listen to the end. And then if you want to make a judgment or the evaluation, then do so, whatever. I'm not doing this for the likes and share. I mean, I want my ideas to be recorded and to be available for whomever wants to use it. I'm not available for discussions. I don't care about proving any of this stuff. To me, it's true because I felt it, I used it, and I've done it. And I'm going to keep doing it. It's not a question of stopping now. It is, let's say, at least up to now, my greatest understanding of my experiences. For whatever that be worth to you or not, that's your decision to make, and my decision is to make this video anyway. But so what happened? So why can't you manifest anything? Why can you make any big changes in your life? Why can't you get something you want? Well, there could be that what you want is not good for you. In this existence, there's 2 points of view, and this is, I thank Till Swan for it, because for a long time I didn't get it. But there is always going to be 2 points of view. One is going to be a point of view of the soul, and one is going to be a point of view of the personality, of the ego. You're going to be yourself here, having a human experience. The other part of yourself that's still having a spiritual experience, the soul, the spirit, however you want to call it. These terms are so used and not understood that it doesn't really matter. But the idea is that you're something else, there's something that never dies, and that's something that will always remember, always record and appreciate what you do in here. regardless how might be seen by other people. So from that understanding, if you don't like science fiction from now on, you probably have to click off and go away. But if you want to see what this crazy unshaved guy has to say, then go ahead and stay. So I'm gonna invariably I have to say I have to talk about some of my experiences. So I maybe show a little bit how my connections, so to say, has been made on this. I do understand and I do accept, without shadow of a doubt, that we are spirit in having a human experience. I do understand that the moment of power, it is now, not later. And believe me, I've been trying to perfect this. I'm trying to say everything in every aspect of this deal, and I come down to say I can't do it. I gave up on perfection a long time ago. Being as born in the Virgo zodiac sign, it's the hardest things I ever done. But sometimes I get sidetracked by perfection, but most of the time I just give it up when I realize that this is what I'm trying to do. But your spirit, the moment is power is now, and the power is yours. And you are the creator is inside of you, the God is inside of you. So you cannot give your authority to nobody else. Why? Because if God is inside of you, he wouldn't want to be servant to anybody. You are the creator of this universe, your own universe. You are the God of the own universe. Believe it or not, I do not give a flying piece of paper. So, what happens now? The greatest sin, the greatest injustice to me, from my point of view, is to give your power away. And don't get me started on voting. Don't get me started on politics. Don't get me started on the laws of the society. This bullshit, this veil of nothingness, a veil of stupidity thrown on the people is just there for you to be manipulated and give your power away. This is why I choose to do this like this, not making it perfect, because if I want to make it perfect, it will take longer. It will take longer, and some things I already cannot put up with no more. So I might not be available for for a discussion later on. So I'm just going to do it. It's going to be available for whoever gives a shit about it, and not, I don't really care. If you not agree, well, just go see comedy, stand-up comedy, whatever. Or maybe keep seeing it if I make you laugh. That's good too. This is in short my principles. This is body, your body is the temple of God. The God lives in it because he gotta be part of absolutely everything in this universe. Otherwise, you wouldn't be the creator. Otherwise, you wouldn't be you wouldn't be able to, let's say, maintain balance. If I don't want to say control, but maybe you cannot maintain the balance of the universe. You wouldn't feel if you wouldn't be in some way, shape, or form part of every flying speck, atom, electron, proton, sand, particle, whatever. So you have to be in it. If you are in complete connection with the creator, if there is one, there's got to be one. I think our mind tells us there's got to be one. There's got to be a source to all this. There's got to be we think in terms of beginning and the ends, but there is no beginning and there is no end. So, with all this being said, coming from the cosmic law, from universal law, there's got to be a law. There's got to be some laws that govern the universe. So if you're the only power in your universe, and you have to understand, when I say universe, it's your universe. Why do I understand? Why I say? Because everything in your life revolves around you. You are the center of the universe, not the sun, not the central galactic sun, not the big black hole in the center of the known universe. You are the center of the universe. And so, as such, you have to take power so you can remain in the center and being able to equilibrate, balance everything else. I keep looking at myself and still looking at the camera, but it's kind of now looking at that, screw that. So eventually when I look to the side, but maybe I should put my windows on center. Okay, maybe that's better. I keep doing this with my videos. So where am I going with this? So the greatest sin, the greatest injustice to you and to the Creator is to give your power away. Why? And you have to give it you cannot give it truly away, because the God Creator cannot stop being everywhere, so also being inside of you. But for the purposes of you understanding, for purposes of having this experience as a separate thing of the whole thing of God Creator, universal power, whatever you want to call it. So you have to have this illusion that you give your power away, but this only for you cannot give it away. It's only you sort of not aware of it, not know it, give it away because you need to experience the consequences of that. So you become aware and say, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that no more. So why I'm talking about this principle is why I'm talking, because people I see around me, people cannot make change, do not understand, and they're not in society in our day today. What is the day? Today is April 15, 2019. So it comes down this: why I cannot make a change? Why I'm not happy? Why these all bad things are happening to me? Well, that's all a result of you giving away your power. At the basis, at the root of all problem, is this one problem, because you give up your power. Well, it's not a criticism. It's just a result of our education. Our parents are educated like that. We all when we're born, and we take everything from our parents, energetically, spiritually. We learn without even knowing the words. We learn and absorb energy and principle and values without even know what they mean, because our mind, it's wiped when you're born. You don't know jack nothing. So you have to get something, and the way that karma works and the way that choosing your parents work, they have an influence over you. And then blah blah blah, you'll come up with something. You come up with a structure, energetic structure, some ideas, some principles, some experience with that to come along. And then you grow up and you have your experiences, and you have to correct all that. You have to throw away all those experiences. So you become back into the center of the universe. You come back into being in balance. When you're in balance, when you center yourself, you're in balance, you're connected to everything else, you're part of everything else, then you are in your power. Well, I'm going to mention power a couple of times, and I'm not talking about power over somebody else. I'm not talking about power of let's say even over yourself, because ultimately the power over yourself, the spirit has it. Why? The soul has it, because he only wants to. The reason you're having a physical experience, you have an earthly experience, you have this life in here right now, in this dimension, this part of it, because it's not all of it, but that's what we all know, just the little bitty tiny silver of the existence. It's so you, in a sense, become something, create even like the energetic structure we accomplish. There is an energetic structure that needs to be accomplished. It's a structure that needs to be built upon and developed and grown to having all this experience, all these lifetimes. This is it's a structure that you can maybe put just a big 2x4 on the top of it, and you make a structure, because it's an energetic structure. It's an understanding of yourself that happens all across these lives. And this is the greatest things you're going to take out of it. The rest of it, It's going to stay here, no matter what you think. So I think the most important thing is to know the power it is in now, not in what happened, not in what is going to come on what you're going to experience. It's always in the now. And if it is a now, I do not agree that you should give your power to your ancestors. Sort of, Andrew Bartis is it's somebody that inspired me, and maybe the little point I'm not agreeing on is that you should make a spiritual court of people that you don't know, people that maybe fucked up time until now, or maybe keep fucking up because time doesn't really exist. Everything happens now. The Big Bang happens now. Everything happens now. There is no beginning and no end, and it's already ended because when the universe was created, all the opportunities was created, all of it. And then now you just pick by your preference. You pick a path, you pick an experience here and there, but everything is created. There's nothing left uncreated. It's like you go into the superstore, and you have unlimited credit. You pick whatever you want. And if you need to pick suffering, well, hello, for the special structure you're building, you need to go through this suffering. So you understand something. So you come up with something. Maybe the next idea, they'll give it to the next suffering. They'll take you to the next discovery of yourself, of course. So where am I going with this? That the moment of power is now, and that's why I'm not agreeing with Andrew Bartis that should make a spiritual court. Some say about him, I don't know, he's got some other problems, some other issues being influenced or some other entities. I don't know. I don't really have an experience with him. I don't really want to know. But I did like these ideas. I did use some of them in my breaking of contracts. And I want to give him as a what do you call it? As a thank you for being an influence in what I've learned and what I've experienced and so forth and so forth. And from here on, it comes out. He does have this. He has some documents. Hopefully, I make a document eventually written down on paper so somebody that can do this. But it's mostly if I'm going to wait for that and I keep being sidetracked from one thing to another, it might never happen. So I'll try to make it happen and eventually maybe have a document that you can use maybe in let's say if you want to do this process or this thing, the breaking of contracts, so you can get your power away. Because I think the first and foremost mistake we make in life is to give up our power. It is a let's say sin. It's not. I don't care about sin because there is no punishment. There is only learning. There is nobody wants to hurt you. Nobody wants to make you suffer. Only the changes from one point. It's like 2 points, and maybe one is lower, maybe even one is lower and one is higher. So going up requires an effort. What is the effort? This effort is all in the mind. It's not about lifting weights. It's not about. It's just changing our ideas, and that's where the pain starts. When you change ideas, it really hurts. Pain. It's not fun, but in some way maybe necessary. I'm not. I know all about entities and their propensity for giving you pain and making you suffer so they can take your energy. That's not the point. But unfortunately, there is a change in you that happens, because you're going to hurt so much until it comes to the point that uh, you no longer want to hurt. You no longer can stand it, and you have to do something. And then there's the moment when you're most open to change, when you're most open to see the next thing. You recognize it, and then you admit it, you accept it, and maybe you apply it. So probably most of you that's going to come around this video is going to be at the end, or maybe some pain. So maybe in the process having some pain. And you need to understand that what it was not fun is probably was necessary, because otherwise, if everything goes according to your plan, you wouldn't be open to the idea of making a change. Making a change, and be happy. Accepting what's happening is mostly part of it. But let me not go back down to the memory lane here. But I want to say is the greatest difficulty, the greatest, it is against yourself. It's against your soul, against your who you are. Because if you are the center of your universe, you are, because you feel everything that happens into it. You're always going to be like that. You cannot be the center of the universe and give power to anybody. That means your mother, your father, your best friend, your wife, your kids. You cannot give your power to government. Hello. Because this is part of what I've been talking about. This is part of why you need to understand this. This is the power it is to you. You cannot say a lot of things. You can't say it. You can say everything you want to say. The problem is it will have a result on you. Everything you say, everything you think, everything you do comes down. Who's the boss? Are you doing what you want? Are you happy? Let's say, I'm not even talking about happiness. I'm talking about being you, being centered. And also, I'm not talking about suffering in the sense that you have to suffer. Because if you suffer, you're not in the center. You're not in balance. You're not equilibrated yet. You can get there. So it's like happiness and pain, hurt. There's not opposing, but two different things. And if you want to be happy, then you have to accept unhappiness. Let's say maybe pain doesn't qualify as an exact opposite, but unhappiness maybe does. So if you want to be happy, you have to accept the other side of the coin, unhappiness, duality. The one splits in two, then splits in three, splits in four, and so forth and so on. You have enough energy to create a universe, a creation that's got a lot of subtleties and differences and blah, 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 blah. But you want to go back to the center. You want to get back. If it is to be a line, it has a positive and a negative. You have to go to the center. You have to go. If you want to get out, you want to get back to the center. You got to get close to neutral. You got to go close to zero. You cannot get in touch with divinity but accepting only the light side, only the being good side. You got to accept the son of a bitch sometime. Not because you want to do it on purpose, just because you feel that way, because you react that way. So what are you going to do? You're going to give up on yourself? Because you did those things, you felt those things. You cannot, let's say, I'm myself when I'm happy. No, fuck, you are yourself when you're upset too. You want to feel when you're idiot too. You have to accept everything. You have to accept you don't feel like shaving. Oh, fuck it. So what now? You don't like me? Huh? Let's go see Halle Berry, whatever. No problem. Well, it's 2 o'clock. I didn't get a shower. So fucking what? Well, I can't go around hugging people, but it's a different story. So somebody said, "Hey, man, go get a shower." But this is who you are. So who's going to judge being wrong? Why you give or you don't care? If you're not in the company of anybody, so what does it matter? Anyway, so the greatest part of losing your power is because against yourself. Against yourself, against your soul, let's say. So here, I think the first and uttermost first step is forgiveness. Because you cannot get to the center, you cannot be balanced by being unbalanced, by being upset at yourself. This you're not gonna, you just can't do it because then I'm upset at myself because I did this for so long. So you have to ask forgiveness from who? Not from other authorities. That's for the part of yourself that can give up on being immortal, that can give up on being powerful, because everything that is. You moving, your air you breathe, it's spirit. Your clothes are spirit. Your hair is spirit. Your glasses are spirit. It's about forgiving yourself. So in order for you to have that feeling, to release that stress where you're not in balance. So you're stressed because you're not in balance. So how do you get from being stressed to not in balance? So you have forgiveness. So ask forgiveness from yourself, from your soul. You say, let's do it practically. I, Dragos, ask forgiveness from my soul for being, for all my mistakes made consciously or unconsciously in this lifetime or in all my existence. This may belong to somebody. I don't know, some lady, Genoveva, give it to me. I did some session about reconnective healing with her. I did some 3 sessions. I feel some energy moving, but not much after that. I fell asleep after that. But I don't mind. This is something that I felt I have to do, even if I don't give any results. But to me, what I got most out of it, that was this process of forgiveness. So this one step when you ask forgiveness from your soul for all the mistakes you've done consciously and unconsciously in this lifetime, and I had it in all my existence, and she had it other lifetime. But there is existence outside the life on earth, and I wanted to be all my existence, where I encompass all the existence, not just this life, not all the lives because there's in between. Like, you can screw up in between. You don't have to be born on earth to fuck it up. You can fuck it up in other places too. So I had somebody send me a message, the answer come up for him, but I'm gonna let it go for later. So forgiveness is that's one step of the forgiveness. Then you have to ask forgiveness from the soul, the souls, the people that hurt you. So let's say Dragos, I ask forgiveness from the souls. I ask forgiveness from my soul for the souls of all the people I've made mistakes knowingly and unknowingly in this lifetime and in all my existence. And then the third part, that's the second part. This asking is for yourself, for the other people that hurt you, for other people you hurt, and then give forgiveness to other people that hurt you. That this is not something you do at the level of a person. This is something you do at the level of the soul. If you don't know what that is, if you don't know how you feel about it, if you don't understand it, then just go read something, try to understand it as much as you can. These are things, to me, there's sometimes things that come into mind, some things that I see, not all the time. I know everybody's psychic, but it's not something that I can use every time I want to. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. But I do have a sense talking to something. Not something bigger than myself, that's something that's part of myself. This is not something like I can really put it in words. It's like some of my experience in meditation is like the mind is not there to give thoughts. The mind is not there. You're just having an experience, and you cannot, while having that experience, the mind is not there because you don't have thoughts coming down at you and interpreting all that, and you see something, and you just sort of feel it. Anyway, I'm not going to go back there. Okay, I'm going to keep here. So in this one aspect, asking forgiveness for yourself, from your soul, asking your soul to forgive, to sort of intercede. You making this breaking a contract. You making this forgiveness through your soul. You don't make it through the personal level. You don't make it through the mind level. I'm not talking here going to Donald Trump and say, hey man, I'm not going to vote for you. I'm not giving you more any power. I'm not. I need you to forgive me, so I'm going to forgive you. Screw that. That's not going to work. Or your mom, your dad, your worst enemy, or your best friend, your wife, your kids, and all that. At the personal level, is not going to do one thing. You're going to have some big discussion, and you're going to, instead of being imbalanced, you're going to be unbalanced. So screw that. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. It's not going to do any good. No, but maybe if you did some fucked up thing, you might have to say, hey, I'm sorry. Forgive me. And sometimes that's really hard too, but not necessarily. You're talking about the soul directly. Well, if I feel if I make a mistake, I have to apologize. That's another story. That's entirely up to you. So the first step is asking forgiveness. 1, from your soul for yourself. 2, asking forgiveness from the people you hurt in this lifetime and all the existence, because you can do things in between lives and fuck up too. And then a third one, you ask your soul to forgive everybody else that made mistakes against you in this lifetime and all the others. Both. That's step number 1. Then step number 2 is breaking all the contracts you ever made. And why do I say that? To me, it's like when you make a contract, you make an agreement, you make a pact, you make an oath, you make a promise. It's like you being a Gulliver on the beach of the Lilliput. You had a storm, you fell from your ship, the water takes you you fell on the beach, you're barely breathing, you're unconscious, and you're tied down by the little-bitty entities. They have little-bitty threads that keep you, there's so many of them, that keep you tied down to the ground. You cannot move. You are at their mercy. You have no power. You cannot make your will known and implement it, because you're so binded by so many little things, by so many promises, by so many energetic connections, that you cannot move ahead. How many lifetimes you have made a vow, a promise, an oath to a king or a queen or a church or a god? All these little things, they are a connection, energetic connection. That is like the holes in a bag of water, and all your energy, it just spills through these holes. That's why you cannot be yourself, because you made an oath, you made a promise, you made somebody to love forever and ever and ever. And that oath, that energy, that connection is still there. If you didn't break it, it's still there. Because we didn't know. We made love oath forever and ever and ever. You have to break it. Nothing is forever and ever and ever. Yeah, you can make it so, and do I have karma? Because coming back, you made an oath, you break it, there's an imbalance, come back, do it again. fuck that. Break it now. Break it all fucking down. Make the connections that only you want right here and right now. Rest, break everything. Of course, the other side, the flip side of breaking is that you make other connections. I'm not saying not to have any connection. I'm not saying not to have a wife, a son, a friend, a lover, a dog, an ant. Maybe I'm saying the ant, the insect, not the ant, the person. But you can have everything you wanted. I think the way you want it. Well, maybe not exactly the way you want it, because now you might get the idea that everything is to be hunky-dory, but there is a reason. There is a next level. There is another point of view, which is your soul, which is still going to have something to say, even if you don't agree, because it has, let's say, across your life, if you see the life as a line from being born over here and die over here, so he sees that you have a period here that he might help you learn something. So he's going to use that influence. He's going to use that power or that connection he has with you, so he make you understand a couple of things. So I don't think you're ever going to be 100% how you want it, because we're going to screw it up quick. I have no doubt about it. But and this is like going on a tightrope. You have one of those long poles, and you balance yourself with. So you're going through life trying to balance. But if you want to, hey, I want more sex in my life, you're going down. You're going to do things and to get more sex. But if you don't balance that with, hey, man, I got some responsibilities here. I'm living on the principle. I'm not living what my senses are telling me. I'm not going to do what my little head wants for me to do. I'm just going to do what's, I'm going to have some sex, but not go all the way in, forget about everything else. Or maybe you do, and you come back later. Who's going to say that's the wrong thing for you? Maybe at the proper moment it's the right thing for you, because you get some experience, you're gonna get hurt. There's no doubt about it, but you have the opportunity to learn something. And from that experience, I say, hey, man, let's not do that again, because this is sucked all the way around. The pleasure I got from sex was like 5 minutes, and I'm suffering a couple of years after that, raising a baby or something. Oh, no, please no. I choose to. Anyway, but this is what I'm trying to say. This is not about power, but it is about freeing yourself. It is about achieving balance in sort of way, because you got to be in balance so you can learn all the lessons. So, but it is, you might end up being alone for a long time. So, am I saying this is the only way? No, like I said in the beginning, it's not the only way. It is the perfect way. Maybe not. Maybe you're going to come up with the idea that's going to make it perfect, or take it from what I give here and make it better. It could be. I hope so. If you want to discuss this in, man, I don't think so, I don't believe this and that, don't bother us. I'm not going to. If you're being an ass, I'm going to delete your comment, block you, and I'm going to do so every time you're making a new account. I've been doing this for a while, so I'm used to it. People try to, I don't mind having an opinion, but being lack of respect, I'm not going to tolerate. I don't care who you are. Okay, so the first step is forgiveness. I hope I got that right. The second step is breaking the contract. And the third step, I think, is making the contracts you want. Making the contracts you make, and making the connections you make in life to reflect how they want it to be. Let's say, man, I'm sick of people lying to me, so people cheating me, or people treat me without respect. So I say this. I make a contract with my soul. I talk it to my soul. It is all in my mind, of course. It is not something not going to blah blah going down the street and talking to myself. That's not going to work. Just have to be. You can be down the street doing it, but in your own head. And you say, let's say the following as an example. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can change it, do however you want it to. Right. The only thing you need to be conscious that you're going to experience the result of that. You might have people that will never call you back. Because you make a contract with your soul. You put a wall in front of the people. I'm telling you, I'm so experienced at this. I can put a wall like that, and that person will never talk to me again. I rarely do this. I don't do this lightly. I know what it means, and it's not because I'm not sure of what I want, but because it hurts the other person. Why I'm saying this? Let's say that you are at work. You are at work. You say this guy he keep doing one time, two time. He takes you for a fool. He makes you want to make a lot more. Yes, I consider him, man. You know what? You just a dude like myself. You got your machine. I got my own machine. Stay the fuck in your shit. You know, do your own shit. Leave me the fuck alone. You know, don't tell me what to do. I know what to do. So he does it one time, two times, three times. You know what? You know, that's enough, buddy. You know, that's all right. You know, stop here. But I'm not talking to him. I said, I put it in my mind. I said, I'm talking to my soul. Says, this guy has got to disappear from my life, and somebody else shows up. I mean, it's my mind. So I say, hey man, he's got a family. He's got to make a living. I mean, he pleads. There's another entity pleads the other guy case. I said, okay, I am okay. I don't want to hurt him because that's not my intention. He did mildly upsetting me and making me sweat way too much for what we're doing, and I was the only one. You know, I said, and I was the older one. He was the younger one. I said, hey man, I accept that you have more experience here. I accept you're way better at me at this, but fuck it, man, just stop it. You know, I'm not gonna do this, and I'm not gonna be a donkey here and do all the fucking work. You know, it turns out that the manager or what the freak he was calling us at the time, might have something to do with it. He was sort of trying to see if I can do the work, but I think he was taking it way too far. That it was a great one. Anyway, but I did because I did that, and I said, listen, the other, I took it as his soul. Come and say, hey man, he's got to, don't, and you have to be conscious. It doesn't mean that he's going to have to leave. It doesn't mean that. It might mean that you're going to have to leave. You know, there's going to be a reaction to this thing, and they might have some karma. I mean, they have to be there. This is not like you take a hatchet and you make way. Everybody goes in. No, it's not like that. It might be that the things are going on, they're bigger than you, and you're going to be flung out. And there's nobody that you can cry to. That's what I'm saying. This is not something that you're doing, hey man, walking down the street, oh, fuck this guy, fuck that guy, you know, let's break this apart. There's going to be a consequence to that. And sometimes you're not going to like the consequences. That's what I'm saying. Don't think that she's going to be everything. I mean, this is, I'm talking from experience. It's not, I don't know, you do whatever, but I'm just warning you. How do I get my ideas? You know, there's many times in almost any spiritual tradition that says, as above, so below. That's to me, when I heard that, I heard it refers to the cosmic law. It refers to the universal law. As above where? In the sky, somewhere you can see. Why? Because it's spirit, you cannot see. It's hidden. You cannot see with the physical eye, you can see the third eye, but if you don't have that open, blah, 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 you don't see it. So, so above, so below. So, to me, what that means, the universal law penetrates everything. It's not just there in the spirit and not on the earth. No, the law is everywhere. And the law is stronger than police, is stronger than any king, any queen, any president, any gun, any nuclear bomb, anything, any disease. Universal law. Because if there wouldn't be a universe, if the law wasn't governing that universe, because there will be total chaos. We cannot have any system, we cannot have any experience. I mean, you can have some experience in chaos, but obviously our universe is not chaos. It has some rules. As long as you apply the rules, you get a certain result. So I'm really, really strongly, forcefully warning you, do not play with this. And I'm giving the example, I used to read a lot. I don't read that much anymore, but I read about 11 books like 2 weeks ago. But science fiction. But I'll just try to make a break here, just to relax a little bit. So what happens is there is some dudes in meditation, some saints, let's say dudes in meditation. They do meditation somewhere, and the king's man, they say, "Hey man, what are you doing here? Get the fuck out!" But he's got meditation. He's got nothing to do. He doesn't know what's going around. He's inside. So the soldiers come, whack, whack, to kill him. Every soldier had tried to kill that saint sitting in meditation. Exactly what he wanted to give, he got back instantly. He never touched that guy. If he wanted to cut his head off, his head fell off. I'm trying to tell you, this is not something you play with. Do not play with universal law, because you will turn in on yourself. What you're doing, you're making a contract at the soul level that nobody enters your life until he comes with respect, until he talks respect, until he feels respect. So what happens? Any moron that used to not respect you will not come around you. This is not something you can verify. Let's say, let's try, let's play with this. Because if you play, you have to have two people to play. You will play. You cannot hide your thoughts from the spirit. You cannot hide your thoughts from your soul. There is an attitude to this that you don't mess with. This is not Lego. This is not Far Cry 5. Do not play with this. When I'm saying something, when I'm making a contract, it's because I want it so, and I want it so bad that I don't accept anything else. I rather prefer this person is gone from my life forever than have to deal with this problem again. When you use universal law, it's like using a sledgehammer to kill a fly. And you'll kill that fly. The fly can run anywhere. Universal law is everywhere. You'll have serious consequences. I'm not kidding about this. You guys do whatever. That's fine. And I'm doing this, I'm presenting this, my idea is because most of us think that, oh, government doing this, government doing that. No, you all did this. Each and any one of you voted. Give your power. That's what you say. Yeah, man, I'm writing on the sign right here. You go do whatever you think is right for me. That's what you did. Don't start here complaining and say, hey, man, no, I didn't want that. No, because somebody's going to stay and come and ask you, what do you want? No, they're not going to do that. It is a system of manipulation and control. They want to control you. The easiest way to control you is through your education. Constant education. Constant education. From when you're born, when you die, you gotta be educated, programmed through TV, through schools, through newspaper, through books, through every fucking thing else. You gotta get rid of all that shit. It's not good for you. You have no power. If you follow the rules, you'll never be happy, you'll never be in balance, you'll always be a slave for some pieces of paper that some Rockefeller prints in his basement. But he's got a lot of money, it's not a basement anymore. It's Federal Reserve Bank or International IMF, monetary, whatever, bank. So what are you going to do? You're going to give your life for a printed paper? Slave away every hour, every day for a printed paper? That's got no, let's say maybe it's better if it got connected to gold, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's going to be virtual pretty soon. You're going to be selling your life for nothing anyway. Not even paper. Let's put it on. There's going to be some numbers that somebody printed on the computer and say, hey, yeah, here's your money. Hello? Somebody home? When are you going to wake up? There is absolutely no reason for any type of government in which you have to give your power away. We can vote right here, right now, any law. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be in the middle of Sahara Desert. You got a phone, you can vote. What's the problem? Why does he have to make decision for me? These people that never worked in their life, that people that have more money than I ever see in one place together, why do I have to give them my power? No. You don't give them anything. You take it back. You take it back across all time, across all existence. You take it back your power, you take it back your energy. From anybody that lied to you, misled you, cheated you, lied to you. Right now. You want to do this? You do it. You don't want to do it? Keep going on, buddy. Doesn't matter how much millions you have, you're never going to be enough. It's a wheel, you know, like the hamster. Keep running the wheel. That's no problem for me. Go ahead. So, what the fuck was I was going on around here for a minute. How do you make a change? How do you make a change in this society? Stop giving your power away. Hello? Nobody, listen, even if you put a gun to your head, I mean, you can choose to do what the guy with the gun says. You can choose not to. So what if you die? It's not the end of the universe. You live on. If you don't know that, well, you already gone too far into this video. But if you do know that, you also know, because if you say, the guy said, yeah, give me your wallet. Yeah, here's your wallet. You know what, is that anything? Oh, yeah, I'm happy now. Okay, go ahead. You make some more money. No problem. If somebody says, yeah, sign right here because I cut your throat or I kill your wife, you sign right there. And when you go, you get your wife back and you get you walk away from the situation. You break the contract. Soul level. He got no power. That piece of paper means shit. You can break the power to all the kings, all the presidents, all the judges, and anybody else. Will it have an effect on the reality? It might, it might not. It really depends. On who depends? On you. You understand? You have to get your power back. Is it going to be visible to other people? I'm not so sure. If you're trying to prove and demonstrate to other people, you'll be a game. You'll have to agree. You let that guy do something and not succeed. And you can do that. Why you can do that? Because all you can do is to agree to have an interaction with the other person. You cannot force the other person what to do. Let's say stop before he cuts your throat. Stop before he hits you and run with the car. You cannot do that. You only agree to have an interaction. That's all you're saying. What he's going to do, that's his decision. You cannot control other people or what you do. People might choose to break the law, universal law. I mean, a judge, he might have intuition, he might have an impulse from his soul, say, don't do it to this guy, and he still do it. He's going to put you in jail. Do you have to feel defeated about that? I don't think so. Because he's going to get what he's got coming. Breaking the universal law, there is not something about you, something you, let's say, argue with. Prove your innocence from. He's going to suffer, but it's not going to help you any. Whatever happens to the judge ain't going to make a difference to you. What will make a difference to you, are you going to sign the paper to get in jail? You understand? Are you going to sign the paper to get in jail? No, you don't sign anything. You don't agree to anything. Doesn't matter what other people do. You do it because you know it's right. And you stay in your power all the time. That's what I'm saying. If you wanted guarantees, I don't think it's going to happen. If you wanted everything to be how your mind thinks it to be, no. Your soul, your spirit may decide, man, there's something in this for you. If you stay in jail, you have an opportunity to tell your soul, to agree your soul that You're okay with having power. You're okay with having made this decision. And you're okay with suffering the consequences. Sometimes it's not pretty. Does it make it still less correct not to give your power away? I don't think so. Doesn't matter. It can be even death. If you choose not to to agree with something, you don't agree with it. But this is your choice. How serious are you about it? You want immediate results? You want to prove anybody else? Because you don't play universal law. You're not a soldier and go. You're just like a soldier. Yeah, I'm going to see if I cut this guy's head off. Fuck! You cut his head off. So what now? You fucked up real bad. You understand? You need the experience. I don't know. You decide. What do you need? What do you want? Okay. So forgiveness. Taking your power back. You take your power back from anybody, anything. You break any connection, any agreements, any pacts, any promises, any oaths, any connection. Can be energetic connection, any family ties. You can do it at a general level, and you can do it at a personal level. All the times, I'm telling you, there's nothing about something you do with saying something to anybody. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with your ex-girlfriend. It's got nothing to do with your ex-husband. It's got nothing to do with the politician. It's got to do, it is you in your soul. You in your soul. You asking your soul to break all the connections for you, because this is what you want. And then you remake the connection in any ways you want. Just take it easy, okay? This is like a universal sledgehammer. Do not play with it. You drop it on your finger, it's gonna hurt. Do not take it lightly. It might not be so obvious at the beginning. If you do this, you gotta do this a couple of times. You gotta do this until you feel relief. You gotta do this until you feel good. You gotta do this until you feel balanced. You cannot say, let me get a piece of paper. Yeah, I break all this, that, I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't want this, I don't want that. You so do this one, and that's it. You gotta put some energy to it. You gotta be. It might not take more than one time. It might not take more than one time. It might just be. It took for me more than one time. It takes for you to be serious about it. It's not a game. A couple of years ago, I was in the Czech Republic. I was working at a factory, and I come from work. I was tired. I had like four in the room. Everybody was on bed and stuff. It's a big hotel and all that. I did that before breaking of the contract, let's say. And this guy said, hey, the police are out looking for you. I said, well, I don't give a fuck. What do you want me to do about it? I'm going to work. I'm not going anywhere else. I come back here. I go take a shower and eat something and play with my computer. That's all I do. I mean, I'm here. I'm up to 8 hours at work. Let's say rest of it I'm here. I might go half an hour and buy something to eat. It's right. So if you want to find me, they find me. That's not a problem. But it happened like 3 times. Hey, the police coming for looking for you. But there is a procedure in Czech Republic that the police come look for you, so they see you and they look at your ID. Because in that area, they come, because you're an immigrant, you come from another country, they don't know who you are, and they come personally see you. They have to personally see you. That's the rule. So 1 time, 2 times, I got 4 times. You know what? And I got upset. I was tired. I said, I break in my mind. I said, I break all the contracts, any shape or form, any connection, any promise. We Czech Republic police. Then I moved to that. The police, the police never see me after that. I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't. It was because in my room, one of these guys end up doing something, printing money, literally. He not alone with somebody else. He printed money and sent somebody to the lottery place with the money. It's not a lottery place. It's a place where you buying you betting, and also lots of also lottery tickets too. Also scratch games too. And he sent somebody that didn't know send with a new 500 crown. It's like what, like 26, 10. It's like 20 euros, $20. Let's say. He said to the new printed, new minted $20 paper to the store where they check the paper, because they have a machine and they run through machine any all the money. Besides, they don't, the coins, they don't do that, but the money what he sent it specially to buy tickets from the lottery. If you go anywhere else, maybe besides the bank, you probably get away with it, because he did. But he got caught right there. That guy got caught. He didn't know what happened. He says, man, it gotta be mistakes. This is not my money. So he took him to the police. Eventually, he told the police come got everybody. I think there's one guy that got away. Anyway, on that area, people asked me to translate from English to Romanian, because they were from my country, from Romania, let's say. It was not Romanian, but that's another story. Anyway, so I had to translate a couple of things from my language to English to some of the policemen, but they didn't ask me, they didn't show me no ID. So that's what, on that arena, after I did that, that's what happened, that I had to deal with the police. But from there, I decided I don't want to work there anymore, and I took a vacation about a month. I did some fasting and stuff like that. And I feel like I had to do it. The contract is coming to the end. They want me to sign another contract. I said, fuck no, I'm not going to sign another contract. They were not going to let me have a vacation. And I feel like I had to do this this fast. I just drink juices and water. It was not very, I was just store juices and water. I didn't eat nothing for the 29 days, 30 days. I ate something, and my stomach hurt so bad. I thought I'm gonna die, because I didn't. You have to come out the fast. You have to come out the right way, and I didn't do it. I just ate. I couldn't hold it. It's like never do it again. But that's a tough lesson to learn. Anyway, so I stayed there. Nobody bothered me, but then I moved to some other city and started over somewhere else. So then here, there's a new place. I forgot the name of the place, the name of the city. I moved to another city, to another agency. I started working in another factory. So different people around me. So I'm sitting, go to again, and the same thing comes again. The police looking for you. And I got so upset. I said, break all the contracts. So I end up probably doing 2-3 times. Just because these people keep nagging me about, man, police looking for you, police looking for you. So I said, fuck it. I don't want to talk to them anymore. I said, got nothing to them. They just are totally serious, totally mean it, and did it. Now, well, I had other problems. I don't care about police. So one time I go to the store, and I was like, third floor, I have to take the lift, elevator. So I get into the building. In the hallway to the hotel, there were 2 policemen. And they were looking at the paper. They asked photo from the people who work at my agency, the coordinators and stuff like that. So I thought they were looking for me. I said, fuck it. Let's get it over with. So I say, hey, man, I'm Dragos Palas. I put my hands on my backpack to put my ID out to show them. Dude, what happened is this guy started freaking out. I mean, really freak out. He came like this to me. He tried to push me, but instead of pushing me, he was going backwards. So he's like this. He's trying to push me, and he's going backwards. But with the hands straight up front, she really alterated. Really, I mean, he was talking to there were two of them. They were like I was going passing by, and I saw that looking at the paper was on the wall. It was laminated paper. It was pretty, it's not oversized, but it's like 1 meter. I see that this is a paper from my agency. So I say, hey, are you looking for me? He says, I'm Dragos. And this guy started, no. Like he started doing it. No. He tried to push me, but he couldn't touch me. So he's going backwards. No. Yeah. And I said, okay, man. All right. So I put my wallet back in the pocket and I got walk away. So no big deal, right? Shit happens, I don't pay any attention to it. But in that moment, no police. I didn't see the police no more. It's like if I see him, it's not because did nobody talk to me. No police talk to me. I stayed a couple of months. I moved again. After I left there. I moved from this agency to another agency. In order to move to one agency to another, I think they have a agreement that if you go to another agency, you have to let a month go in between. I didn't know it, but it came down to that. They accepted me, the other agency accepted me after 1 month. So in this 1 month, I couldn't stay at the other hotel because the other hotel was charging me too much because I wasn't working for the agency. The agency was paying before for me. So they're really fleecing me, man. I was paying like maybe double what the agency was paying. So I was really pissed, So I tried to find another place to go, but I couldn't find one. I just couldn't find it. I tried everything I could, look, to talk, and blah, blah, nothing. So I go to another city. I mean, look around, and I call, and it's hard to talk to people because they don't speak English. Not everybody speaks English. Some people do speak English. So anyway, I ended up moving to another city. One of the guys that work with me helped me out. But strange thing, he didn't speak no Czech. He didn't speak no English. But if he wasn't coming with me that day, because I say to me, you say, man, no. You say me, no, I don't have one. I don't want to give you a room. I don't leave. I'm not going to argue about it. Okay, it's no, it's no. If I say no, I want to be respected. I'm going to say no, it's no. Just leave me alone. I don't care. So I respect other people when they say no. So we go to this motel. I got it's like I was going to the bus, going to work, and then boom, it hit me. And the bus going, I see the hotel and the phone numbers. So I don't have the phone number. I didn't write the phone number. I knew what it was. So there's the guy that worked with me. They're living a couple of streets. So he said, I talked to these people. I said, but how the fuck you talk to him when you don't speak no English? I mean, he's got the yes, thank you, but not much else, So how do you speak to somebody if you don't speak any Czech or any English? Anyway, so I said, but I had to move, so I had to do something. It's not a question of me wanting, it's costing me too much. And if I stay one more month, I didn't know how long it's going to take until I find another job. Because at this point, I said, man, this is 1 month already, and I got no job. I got my money for a month or two, but you got to have some money coming in because it's going to be nothing. It's going to be bad after that. I've been living on the streets about 6 years. I don't know what it's like. I don't want to go there back. So I did. Man, this will turn into something else. I hope it does not take too long, but I feel like I have to explain this a little bit. So anyway, this guy helped me because he's more insistent. He didn't give up. Instead, the lady said no. So the lady we go to that hotel. She lets us back in. She gave me a room. It's a two bedroom, but she has 2 people to live in there. But she let me stay there because she didn't have a 1-person room. I think she charged me a little bit more than half from what she used to charge, something like that. It was like 100 something a month or so, whatever. So I had that. I give it the money. But the custom is on all Czech Republic, the police come and see you. Personally, you have to show them ID and they see you in the face. And she does this by computer. Then she sends her address, she sends my name, she sends a copy of my ID, she fills some forms, she gives me a receipt. Anyway, forget that. I move in. I never see the police. Of course, I never. Police see me on the street. I don't look at them. They don't look at me. They look at me, look straight and go away. You need to understand this. If you make a pact like that, you cannot go to the police asking for help because you're breaking the pact. You're going back under their umbrella. You need to understand this thing, because if you don't understand, you cannot live with no consequences. Every decision you make is going to have a consequence. You sign in a contract. You may have to sign a contract. Let's say you get some software and say, if you don't agree to this, online, they say you buy a game, you install the game, you play the game. You say yes. You have to break that contract because that contract has clauses and ties you into the whole system. You have to break that contract if you don't want to be tied to it. You cannot be conscious of think is not going to have any effect, because you're going to notice if you look at it, you slowly, you do a couple of those and you're losing your power. You understand? There is a consequence to everything, to every agreement. Even if you don't say yes, but you agree in your mind, it's got a consequence. So I did, she did that, she took my money, gave me a receipt, and she walks away. Two days after that, I think, the guy said, hey, Dragoš, the guy that I was working with, he called and said, hey, the police is looking for you. So I was again, so what? Let them look for me. What's the problem? Then they come to my house. But he doesn't live in the same hotel in Miami. He lives to a different street. It's totally different address. It's got nothing to do with this address. It's totally different people. They went to him. I don't know how they find him. I have no freaking idea. But they went to him and asked him about me. You understand? They go to a different address. They didn't have to go to a different address. The address is different. Street is different. Numbers different. Buildings are different. There's not the same type of it. There's no way that person, because she did it from her computer, she told me what she's doing. So this is immigration. She said, yeah, you do whatever you gotta do. Because she didn't speak a lot of English, but I understand what she's doing. Police, and say, yeah, do whatever you gotta do. I know the rules, So the police never come and see me, but they come sue that guy, my friend. Say, what is he? He said, I'm looking for him. He's gotta see him. I said, man, he's not here. He said, go over there. Nobody come and see me. Maybe they were when I was not home. Maybe, I don't know. You can say that, maybe. But I never had any problem with the police. He never asked me anything. I don't know. If they passed by me, I didn't notice. There's one time I know there's somebody that walking down the street, and I was going the same direction. But other than that, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. Is this a proof? For me, yes. For you, most likely, no. I'm not trying to make you believe anything. I don't really care. I just want my experience. I want what I'm saying and my ideas to be recorded for whomever wants to do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't give a shit. You're not going to get to this point anyway. Anyway, so basically, what am I doing? What do we do to break the contract? Because the forgiveness, I think it's clear already. And probably there is a process that somebody come up with it. It might be in some books, but I didn't read the books. I just Genoveva Dumitru. This one I got it from. She's a reconnective healing practitioner, and I had some session with him. She part of the talk we did was this doing this forgiveness, because we do it over the phone, and I was. Really made me cry, this type of the forgiveness, and I was not aware. This was like, to me, it was like piece of the puzzle. And this is why, this is in the last 2-3 months, this is way before I went, before this story with the Czech Republic, Czech police and stuff like that. And I feel a lot better now. I feel more balanced, and this did help me I feel some relief doing it. That's what I'm saying. I feel great doing it. I feel like some weight is lifted off my soul, you know. So that's why I'm including this in this breaking of contract, because I think it's really important, and I think maybe a lot of people overlook this forgiveness thing. So this is the first sin, first mistake is that you give a power away. It's not that you cannot learn from anybody, that you don't submit to anybody. It's not that you cannot have a relationship, that you cannot agree to control, you cannot agree to manipulation. Because why? Because if you live a lie, means you don't live in truth. You don't live in balance, you don't live in all of that. So there's a couple of components. One of them is like I said, talking to your own soul, or talking to the souls to other people, talking to the creator, prime creator. Somebody say prime creator, because the creator, we all creators, then anybody can take his place. So to make this short, step number one, you're talking to your soul, or to the soul. Through your soul, you're talking to other souls. Not necessarily talking directly to other souls. You can, through your soul, say, I ask my soul to break contract with this person's soul. Not necessarily explaining, just tell him what you want. Tell him, I want the manipulation to stop the lies to stop. I want to have peace. I don't want to ever see this person again. I don't want to, etc., 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 whatever you want. So I suggest closing your eyes. I suggest knowing that you're addressing your own soul, and tell him, I, your name, want to break any contracts, any promises, any oaths, any permission, any acceptance, any pacts, any connections, any collaboration, any interferences, absolutely everything in between me and the soul to the other person, at any level of existence, including this life. I break all these accords, contracts, permission, oaths, permissions, acceptance, pacts, connections, collaborations with any government, any police force, any kings and queens, emperors and empresses, any noble people, noble persons, and noble ranks, any owners of any kind, any entities, any armies, any organization, any corporations, any services, any place of work, any gods, any goddesses, any magicians, witches and warlocks, any alchemists, any doctors, any hospitals, any banks and system of manipulation control, any TV station, any accord given to radio stations, reincarnation systems, any system of manipulation control, any system of siphoning energy from me, any churches, any religious organizations, any secret organizations of any kind, any secret forces, secret organization of any kind, any revolution force, any revolution's principles, any system of harvesting energy, I give up, renounce, destroy all disconnection. As of right now, as of forward and backwards, in all directions of time, in all directions of existence, are only level that exists. So be it. I mean, you probably have to do it as much as deep as you think it needs to be done. I'm generalizing here, and I usually don't wait to make it perfect because it's not working for me. It's going to take me probably never do it. I have this. I wanted to make this video for a long time, and I, this is I end up doing this because I don't think I'm going to be doing, at least right now. I don't have no incentive going. I'm going to eventually try to write it down in some form, which is not going to be the perfect form. Probably it's not going to be the perfect form for you, but it might be something to get you started. It's going to have to be break any connection you see fit, anything that stands up in your mind. It's going to be a process where you have to do it more than one time, possibly. It might work one time if you're serious about enough. If you got some power behind you already. If you have a practice. This power comes in many sides. It's a result of any. If you're lying son of a bitch, you got no power in your words. You got no power in you because you're lying. Because you're lying. You're lying because you're afraid. Because you're afraid to say the truth. If you're afraid of the truth, the truth is a general idea. It's a truth at many levels. But if you have a problem saying what you think, saying your truth, that your power is going to be almost inexistent. So you have to. There is a lot of shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's a lot of shit that comes with this idea. There's a lot of shit that you probably have done wrong up to now. So your words might mean no power. You might feel you have no power, but you can take it all back. You can forgive yourself. You can break the connection. They're wrong for you. You maybe don't know. Maybe you don't remember. That's why I'm saying doing across all existence and doing it as generally as possible, and then going more in depth as possible. Why? Because you'll know. You'll feel the need to do that. You'll feel like you have to do that. And there is another step that I do, and I kind of you don't have to, but I kind of like doing it with this process of breaking the contract. I'm using the access consciousness Clearman statement to say everything that about this that comes up times a gazillion. What do you call it? I'm doing the statement and I forgot it. Usually I have it written down. But anyway, it's Dr. Dane here. I'm probably going to put a link in the box below about his statement where he explained his statement. And I use that with the breaking the contracts because it takes you, even if you don't know, it takes you the moment of creation, a moment of destruction, and all that, and make it all good for you. It's an overall statement that will encompass what I'm saying, and you'll break, maybe catch more stuff with that statement. That's what I'm trying to say. To me, it makes a difference. You don't have to do it, but I recommend you do it. You do whatever you wish to do. You can forget about me, or you can do some of the things that you suggest, or do it your own way. It doesn't have to be my way. I do have a Facebook account, the same name as my channel. If you want to make a message or but if you just want to say I'm crazy, yeah, I know all that. You don't have to tell me. So I don't care. But that's I might choose to make another video later. I might not. I'd say for now, maybe at least I have this. I have one in my own language, and do it as much as I can, as much as I feel the need push to do so. I do hope you get something out of this, besides me being crazy. I do hope that you have a good life, you find your balance, maybe some happiness. I thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.